Last order of business. All right. Don't be upset. All right. Don't be upset. Don't be upset. We're over this game now. All right. We're not talking about the game anymore. I came across this and it made me happy. And then it quickly made me sad. So someone ended up putting something together on the worst shooters thus far in the NBA. Okay. 20, 24, 25 shooters so far. And I looked at this list and I was quite happy because I was like, ha ha, that's funny. And then I got real sad real quick. I got sad real quick, guys. So tell me if you see what I see. So obviously the first person you see, your Sohan. This is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. People are so, I mean, I'm not blaming you. I'm not talking about you, Israel. I'm just saying in general, people are so quick to jump in and blame Sohan for stuff. But it's like, no, Sohan isn't one of the worst in the league. No. Anyways, this is pretty bad though. So Castle being number one, I actually wasn't that upset about it. Like, I feel like we all ouch young players. I guess you guys haven't caught it yet. Like, initially I was like, that's not that big a deal. Like, it's bad, right? We all know Castle isn't a great shooter right now, but he has the good mechanics and it'll come together. I'm not expecting him to end up being like a superstar. Yeah, I expect him to be a star player, right? I do expect him to be a star player, but I don't expect him to be like a superstar Steph Curry type player, right? He's going to bring value in lots of different areas, and his shooting is going to improve. Like it just is. He has the good mechanics, and then even in high school, you could see his mechanics. He was a pretty good 3-point shooter, so it's nothing crazy. I'm not worried about it that much. I think it'll be fine. And then we look at another young player, Risache, whatever. Giannis. I'm a little shocked that Giannis was so high, but hey, it is what it is. But his long twos weren't as bad, but overall, pretty poor. You got George, you got Murray, you got Westbrook, and then you got Keldon. Clan, I see Keldon is high on the list. Yeah. So, because the reason why this was like, this stood out to me is because someone actually showed me an article and they try to use this to like tell me that I'm being way too harsh on Keldon, where they brought this up and they were like, well, read this article, Clan. And I did read it. It says, don't look now, but last year's punching bag is having a great year. No disrespect to Sean McKenna at all. Like, I think that this is like finally written and everything, hey, it's some good stuff. But he does bring up like some of Keldon's percentages and say in all these different ways he's improved. He says that he's the heart of the team, and to a degree, I agree that he brings the energy and whatnot. And then it goes on to say Johnson's not going anywhere. He's too valuable to this team. I don't agree with that. I think that's kind of a huge leap, right? And just looking at some of the articles they've done before, I thought this one was kind of strange. Like back in November, Sohan's injury has led to several surprising benefits for the Spurs. Don't really know why that would be an article, but just overall though, we know what Keldon brings, right? We know what he is, but to say that he's so much better than he was last year, I don't necessarily know what we're going off of, other than a few nitpicky stats that you might can throw out. But overall, just wanted to show you this is pretty bad. Now, what made me happy about this was number 15, okay? The guy who talked a lot of trash about the Spurs. DeJounte Murray being on this list, him being top 20 and worst shooters so far this season, is very funny to me. I actually really like that. I enjoy that a lot. I am a little shocked. I didn't know this, though. I am shocked that statistically Keldon is a worse shooter than Dyson Daniels. Because Dyson Daniels, everyone talks about how poorly of a shooter he is. So that kind of worries me a little bit. Reed went to the G League today. DeJounte thing of the past. Yeah, I just thought it was funny. Anyways. Spurs hate drafting shooters. Simple. No, I don't think that's true. I hate to bring it up, guys, but just a couple drafts ago, they drafted someone who was known as a 3-point shooter. I hate to bring it up. I know it hurts. It hurts me more than it hurts you. Okay. But yeah, Primo was known for his shooting. So yeah. Ice Cream CA said Primo. Yeah. I don't think they just avoid. Stop. No, that's what he was going into the league. He's an embarrassment. He's definitely an embarrassment. I'm just saying. This is. Oh, but by the way, guys, you should know this by now. You know me by now. I'm not saying. I'm not advocating to bring Primo back. I've never done that. I think he should be gone. I'm happy he's gone. I'm not saying the Spurs made a mistake or anything. I'm just bringing up the fact that that narrative isn't necessarily true. The Spurs do go after. You forgot Joe. Yeah, yes, exactly. Joe, how did you say it? Wieskamp or Wieskamp? But he was a 3-point shooter as well. You know? So, it's yeah. Devin Vassell is, he was a good 3-point shooter. So, hopefully that comes back. Wieskamp. Okay, got you. Lucas Sandwich. What was Lucas Samanich's stats like from 3? I don't really recall. I'm just an angry old man. And it's all right. Just listen. You say you're going to listen to your heavy metal and watch war movies. Just do that. I think that's healthy. I think that's healthy. Wheezy, man, poor guy. Yeah. Oh man. Anyways, ending segment. I think we're going to end the segment. Any other thoughts? I was just kind of, yeah, I saw 15. First I saw Castle and then I saw 15 and then I just kind of glanced through and I was like, oh my God, I did not expect Kellin to be that high. I'll be honest. Even as my main gripe on Kellin has been the defense, but like offensively, I knew he hasn't been that great, but I was like, wow, really? That's really high. That's really high. I would not expect him to be next to like Westbrook or. Yeah, I just wasn't expecting that. Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right. All right. Anything else? Front office can't draft anymore. Do we not like Steph Castle now? Is that what's going on? Like, we don't like Steph Castle. We don't like Wemby. You know, all right, I'm gonna be honest with you, okay? A big part of the San Antonio Spurs success over those years, those many of years that they had, is because they had Tim Duncan, Manu, and Tony. Now, Manu and Tony, those two players in and of itself, in today's era of drafting, they wouldn't have went as deep in the draft as they did. That wouldn't have happened. Like, teams have improved so much. These are basically lottery picks right there. The Spurs did a really phenomenal job at that time. After that did most of the heavy lifting. The Spurs had plenty of mishaps, you know, when it comes to drafting. They had plenty of missteps. But you could experiment a little bit more back then, right? Because we had Duncan. It was fine. That sounded a little bit like DMX right there. Yeah, Duncan. It was fine. Yes, thank you, Clan. Yeah, I mean, I think that did a lot of the heavy lifting. What you already did prior, having your superstars established, that did most of the heavy lifting throughout those years. You know? I mean, people love, like, you know, Dwan Blair, like, oh, he was a good addition, whatever. But, like, would we call that a successful draft with him? Like, would we or would we not? You know, I don't know. Presti drafted J-Dub and we drafted Sohan. Sohan's a really good player, and J-Dub is older. In that draft, he was much older, I believe. How old is Jalen Williams? He's 23. Am I thinking of someone else? No, was he a super senior? Who am I thinking about? It was him, right? Wasn't he a senior when they picked him up? But 2 extra years of professional basketball or elite basketball. So, and they're 2 different types of players anyway. So, miss Jonathan Simmons. Man, you miss Jonathan Simmons until you go and watch some highlights of Jonathan Simmons. You're not gonna miss him anymore. Recent highlights. J-Dub is 23. Yeah, I just saw. I was wondering if it was but I think he was a senior. The other Jalen Williams is younger than that Jalen Williams. I'm thinking this is the right guy. I missed Metu. No, you don't. Metu wasn't that good. Devin a trade piece? Maybe. Not a good season? What, the Spurs? Spurs are fine. We're going to be a 500 team. I say we get 44 wins. Most people going into this, you got to keep in mind what the expectation was going into the season. Most people said 35. Gosh, I don't even know if I could find it. I can find it. I did a poll a long time ago. Maybe the beginning of the season. Let's see if we can find it. Give me a second. All right, this is 2 months ago. Wish they could let you like filter. Oh. No, actually people started feeling kind of hype going into this season. 30% said under 36. 70% said over. Let's see. 36. See if anybody's saying specific. Over 36, under 40. I think that was kind of the main sentiment. I feel like most people said 35. 41, 37, 31 to 35, 30 to 33. Yeah, but I feel like the overall sentiment was the Spurs to get around 30, 35. And because we've seen so many performances where it's like, whoa, the Spurs look so good, we start to forget that this is still a 500 team. And they're going to play like a 500 team sometimes. Yeah, I say 44, you know. But you can see this isn't like super convincing, right? Most of the people that commented said, yeah, I think over 36, but like 37. You know? Man, 44 would be cool. I saw people saying the Spurs could get 50. And I'm like, 50 is wild. That would be wild. That's a huge leap. Wemby's making the leap, though? Yeah, of course he did. I think lots of players made the leap this year. 60 wins, please stop. Larry's just optimistic. Larry said we win in the chip this year, so. All right, end the segment.